This must be the wreck of the Peacemaker. Some of her cargo may remain.
This shrine fills you with a sense of peace. It is a safe haven. Your eyes flutter closed.
Think those fingers of yours will ever heal?
Lohar rubs his forehead beneath his hood and stares at the ground. As you approach, his face hardens and he stands at his full height.
So?
Lohar takes the amulet and turns it over in his hand. He pockets it matter-of-factly.
What did you find in the cave?
Why you gotta make us hurt ya?
Lohar rubs his forehead beneath...
So?
Lohar rubs his forehead beneath his hood and stares at the ground. As you approach, his face hardens and he stands at his full height.
So?
Lohar takes the amulet and turns it over in his hand. He pockets it matter-of-factly.
What did you find in the cave?
Think those fingers of yours will ever heal?
Dead. More dead. And Mordus with them. I owe you. Whole realm owes you, really. But I'll do my best to settle that debt myself. Take this key. Nicked it from the Whites. It opens a chest in the Magister Barracks, second floor. Be careful getting at it. If they spot you, it'll be lights out. Should be some good stuff in there, though. Real good.
Why you gotta make us hurt ya?
Well, someone will have to clean up the mess in that cave. Bury the dead. Get rid of anything the Magisters might use to pin anything on us. But you, I imagine you'll be moving on.
Poor baby.
Right. Yes. Indeed. Apart from Mordus, I can think of 3 folks in the area who'd be worth your time. Give me your map.
You ain't gonna last much longer.
First, a demonologist. My people reported he passed through here not long ago. Avoided the Magisters very carefully, that one. J-Hand's his name. I'll show you where we last saw him. Next is an easy one. Well, maybe not easy, but obvious. Riker, master of the old graveyard. Now there's a sorcerer you don't want to double-cross. Not far from here either. Last one I can think of may not be useful. There's an elf called Sahela. Young but powerful. She got carted off to the Joy. Her people have been spotted in the area though, and I wouldn't have put it past them to spring her out. Here, look where I've marked. You'll find them. They worship that girl, Like she were their flesh-munching god himself. And there you have it. I hope one of them can tell you what you need to know. I guess there's no hiding it now. It's like this. I didn't sign up to move death fog. Other weapons, even soul-forged weapons, sure. But death fog? Absolutely not. When we found the bomb on Her Majesty's ship, I was told to ship it to Arx along with the rest of the stuff. But I couldn't. I didn't want my people to have it any more than theirs. Nothing good can come of death fog. Nothing. Mordor's disagreed, obviously. But thanks to you, he's dead. I'll go destroy the death fog bomb myself. Make sure no one can get their hands on it. Ever.
In an instant, Lohar goes completely white.
No! What have we done? Look, Mordor's had to go one way or another. I thought I could kill two birds with one stone. So yell all you want. I was wrong and I know it. But every second you spend here telling me my sins is a second closer to that bomb going off. I'm gonna do what I can to stop the Queen. I suggest you try the same. Get to Arx. End this before Justinia does. There'll be a wedding in full swing by the time you arrive. A girl named Isla and some do-nothing type. Her father's well placed, though. If anyone knows where to find the Queen, it's him. Mikhail Ross is his name. Tell him I sent ya. Arx, wedding, Mikhail Ross. Got that? Off with you then. Time ain't on our side.
You ain't gonna last much longer.
Poor baby.
Hope you don't go blind after all that. You ain't gonna last much longer. Hope you don't go blind after all that. Hope you don't go blind after all that.
Why you gotta make us hurt ya? end all this. Looking rough, Mole. Real rough. Why you gotta make us hurt ya? That's a lot of blood. You can end all this. Looking rough, Mole. Real rough.
Opening the door, you explore the Meister sits slumped in her chair.
What news? Can you channel enough source? Are you powerful enough to proceed? Of course, my supply has rather gone up in smoke. You can find more in the cloister woods to the northwest of Driftwood. Hardly a charming place, but it grows nowhere else. Then why, pray tell?
Bellwether, I need those reports stamped.
Oh, great, a citizen. Can't you... I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on your watch again.
Calm down, Brianna. Carver's got his dossier on the sorcerers. Everything's falling into place. All I need to do is... watch.
Head nodding drowsily, the Magister brings over...
They won't take...
I'm on a break now, Yvette. You better not fall asleep on...
I hope Joe doesn't smell when he... Hello, mister.
The little boy beside her looks at you. He picks his nose.
Hello.
Cool. How did you know that?
Mister, have you seen our friend Joe?
Tell them the truth about Joe. They have to grow up sometime.
The truth hurts, but they'll get over it.
Kids are resilient. Tell them the truth.
The horror grows on their little faces.
No, that's a horrible thing to say. I bet it wasn't Joe. I bet it was someone else's leg in that icky shark.
She bursts into tears, then looks from you to her and back again, then starts crying too. After a moment, the crying subsides. Ben and Harriet snuggle into you.
So where's Joe? Okay then.
That's horrible. You're mean.
Bye-bye, mister.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Here I still am, and here you still are. Adrift in bloody driftwood. Yes? Have you anything to report? Here I still am. Yes?
He snatches the letter from your hand and skims through it with mounting indignation.
Lohar! He's been involved from the start! And Justinia, Oh, but I won't say the word. I've had enough of words. We need action. The great and honourable Dallas will hear of this. She will know where the serpent slithers and crush it under her heel. As for you, there's a little reward in order, I think. There's a chest in the barracks full of confiscated goods. Here's the key. If you see anything you like, it's yours to keep. Now all we have to do is wrap matters up.
He leans in. His voice drops to a whisper.
Listen. There are such things as courts of law, due process, judges and jurors. But these are all things that stand in the way of honest-to-goodness justice. And Lohar, even the gallows are too good for that rat, let alone a cell. So how about you make certain he gets his just desserts? I don't care. I want Lohar's head on this here table. See to it, would you?
Greet the Reaper for me.
Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I'm on a break now, Yvette.
Pipe down. I'm tired of your whining.
Pipe down. I'm tired of your whining. Bears ahead. Honey bears, looks like.
The spirit of a young man stands before you. From his aura, you can tell that he was a sorcerer. You are a sorcerer fleeing the Magisters in Driftwood. Hungry, you come upon a pair of honey bears. The bears do not attack, so you try to steal their honey, and ouch! You are stung to death by bees. Huge, hideous, void-woken bees. Stinging pain consumes you as the bees attack you, and the honey bears too. The bears survive, but are tainted. You die in agony. The bees die as bees must do after unleashing their stings. The honey bears eat the bees. The spirit of a young sorcerer stands before you. Huge, hideous, void-woken bees. Stinging pain the honey bears eat the bees.
Once this was a place of holy learning. Also, statue clearly a man of wisdom and piety. Humility, not so much. Once Once this was a place of holy learning. Also statue making. Very important statues.
Magisters!
Your powers of observation astonish me.
The lizard looks at you with undisguised fury, and then doubt.
You don't look like a magister. I've heard that a lot lately. It's always a lie.
Under her breath, she incants a simple spell.
Magisters.
Your powers of observation astonish me.
He spares you but a glance, then turns his focus back on whatever it is he's hiding from.
Best you leave the building, stranger. We have sorcerer trouble. We're trying to talk her down without a fight. It's not going well. God's damn sorcerers. A sorceress, as it happens. A master of portals, and a lizard too. She seems unable to escape, thank the Divine. But we can't get close enough to bring her down. We chased her clear across the country, and she's left devastation in her wake. We expect a Voidwoken attack here too, at any moment. That, or worse. Well, it's your funeral. Try not to let her use sorcery on you. I'd like to avoid having Voidwoken show up. And do watch out for the lava, that's instant death. We'll keep her distracted while you get close. Go on then, if you're going.
She gives you a steady look that tells you she's not in charge, and neither are you. The sorcerer looks at you in surprise.
You don't look like a magister. I'm leaving. That's what's happening.
Under her breath, she incants a simple spell. No sooner does a portal open beside her than she steps into it and is gone.
We'll keep her distracted while you get close. Go!
Greet the Reaper for me.
Magisters are dead. You have my thanks. You know your trade.
She offers you a grateful smile.
Little good. I went to Paradise Downs to teach a young sorcerer, Gwydion, but the Magisters came for us. We fought them off, and our source drew Voidwoken. You may blame the Magisters for the horror. Responsible? No. I have regrets. If the Magisters had not come, it would have not happened. It is not our fault that our talents draw the void. We are not the problem. We are the hope. I was on my way to where I thought that I might find a friend, of whom I'll say no more. The Magisters trapped me, and it appears I did find a friend. Just not the one I'd expected.
She gives you a long look, considering the request.
You have proven yourself a friend at least, but you must prove your heart. I'll ask one more thing of you. I left my apprentice, Gwydion Rince, at the Black Pits. He is with his family. They are in danger. Help them, and I will help you. I should be most grateful. My hero. What news of Gwydion Rince? Have you found him?
She arches what would be an eyebrow if lizards had eyebrows.
Such a talented young sorcerer. In better times, he might have been a famous healer, a leader. But the Magisters have driven our kind into the shadows. Gwydion feared the great power within him. He did his best to hide it, but something so beautiful cannot stay hidden forever. A kind couple beseeched me to look after him, to teach him how to control his powers. I was happy to help, but it was never destined to last. My hero, I'm grateful. What news of Gwydion Rince?
She arches what would be an eyebrow if lizards had eyebrows.
I shall return home to the Empire when the Magisters have cooled their ardor. For now, I'll hide out here. It should be safe enough.
She gives you a shy smile. It's charming, and it may be her tell. She may well be lying.
My crowning glory, and the millstone around my neck. Yes, I made the bomb. I served Lucian as best I could. I gave him what he asked. Would I do it again? No, I would not. I owe you a debt. It must be repaid.
She opens her hands, and between them opens a tiny portal. A book drops from it. She catches it and hands it to you.
I bid you farewell. My hero, what news of Gwydion Rince? Have you found him?
there's a boat at the dock. Perhaps it may take us to the island.
Shall I take you to the island? I shall. I shall. Step this way. All aboard. It is. But I know what I'm doing. I've been working this crossing my whole death. Trust me. A trifling amount, I'm sure you'll agree. Payable in advance, of course. But that makes no sense. Think about it. You don't pay the ferryman until he gets you to the other side, out of fear that he'll murder you midstream, rob your corpse, and dump you in the water, my friend. If murder was on my mind, I could do the job right here.
I'll kill your shining lights! I'll kill your shining lights! Trouble? Trouble? Bubbling skin and burning knuckle! I'll kill your shining lights! Oh, baby, oh, darling, I'm so sorry. You feel it too, you feel it. Come to me, come and let us kill our shining lights. Bubbling skin and burning knuckle. I'll kill your shining lights.
The bitter air warms, your eyes close.
Someone's already plucked it. Someone's already plucked this one. Someone's already plucked this one.
More than a flame.
A haughty-looking undead woman, unmasked, surveys the ground around her, seeking something. Suddenly, her head swivels, and she trains an imperious gaze upon you.
What side do you take?
Her voice is clipped and detached, with metallic overtones. It even seems to echo, as if she's speaking to you from very far away. She cocks her skull to one side with a nightmarish creak. Though her shiny visage is completely devoid of emotion, you sense confusion in her manner. Confusion and more than a little scorn.
Quick now, quickly. Do you support Divine Order or Black Ring? So long as you do not pledge allegiance to the Ring, we can talk. Perhaps even trade. I have books, though I hate to part with them. And you, hopefully, you have something I want. Eithne was my name.
She slaps her face violently as she corrects herself, dislocating her loose jawbone and powdering the earth beneath her feet with bone dust.
I was a librarian in arts for the glory of the Order. The ring came, burnt my library to the ground. My books, they are all I have, all I had. I had to save them. The flames. There was no making it out alive. But as the fire caught my magical scrolls, they all turned to a rain of glittering ash. I awoke covered in it. And here I stand. That would be prudent if I wanted to stay alive, or whatever it is that I am now. Survival is not something that interests me any longer. Not in this form.
Suddenly, she leans towards you with an unnerving creak.
Enough about that. I'm traveling as I look for a particular book. A tome to teach me how to make corpses explode. Would you have anything like that I could learn from?
She scuffs one boot in the ashen dust at her feet and gazes off to the far horizon.
For my collection?
She opens and closes her jaw several times before deciding to speak. She dusts off her tunic as she confides in you, leaving a musty scent lingering in the air, like an old attic piled high with mildewed paper.
I spent years alone in a study researching the afterlife. I don't want this shadow existence. What is this world but a training ground for the next? What is this decaying body but the tool to get me there? I have almost everything I need to go. I just need that book.
She stares at you blankly, empty sockets seeming to stretch into the farthest reaches of oblivion.
You do not know the question. I am already dead. My body is an anomaly. Have a look. Mind you don't tear any pages now. You know what I'm looking for. Come back to me if you find it. Do you have the book I seek? Or does a phoenix crave more than a flame?
Hate washes over you from the spirit. Hatred for all the world. Sorcerers, soldiers, leaders, and Lucian himself. Especially the Divine, who died and left us all alone. The Shade walks in silent meditation. With eyes closed, she gently places her feet one by one on the grass. Sensing your presence, she opens her eyes and smiles at you, serene.
Blessings of the child Rallick upon you, my child. Here is a place of tranquility where those of faith can gather together. You are most welcome to stay and walk with me, my son, should you wish it. My vigil honors the Rallick in each human child.
Her thin lips press together. A fleeting look of despair crosses her wizened face, only to vanish almost instantly.
I cannot read the future, child. I live still, see? How else would we be in conversation? Rallick honors his chosen. Were I dead, I would be standing by his right-hand side in a hall of echoes.
Pinched of face and stern of features, the spirit of a matronly nun eyes you gravely above her prayer beads.
Welcome to the House of Rallick. What brings you to my master's abode? This is the home of Rallick on Earth. You would be wise to bow your head in his honor, man-child of Rallick, as cubs bow before the alpha wolf.
She nods, satisfied. The spirit of a very young nun wanders in the cloister. Seeing you, she gives you a shy smile and a bobbing curtsy.
Hello? Are you lost? Are you looking for a home? It is a home. A home for those who need one. Under the wing of Father Rallick, all are safe. All can find comfort. My parents were killed. Tragically. It was an accident. I wandered in the forests until the sisters found me. They washed my sins away, fed me, clothed me. That's what home is.
She shrugs. If you had to choose an adjective to describe that shrug of hers, the closest word you could find would be sly.
Home's home. And besides, my parents are surely in the halls. By Rallick's blessing, I remain here.
The Magister's spirit has the 1,000-yard stare of the death-shocked. A wave of resentment washes from the spirit before you. An adult life spent in service is rewarded with a forgotten death out here in the middle of nowhere. Hate washes over. And the statue gestures the little spiders run.
up?
Not in any...
Glad to see you well. Anything more?
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
How you holding up?
Until later, then.
You run through the caves as fast as you dare in the gloom. The outraged screech of the Voidwoken is not far behind. You run straight into something, almost bouncing off of it. A gate. A locked gate. You frantically try to climb over it, but it's too high. Claws envelop you and drag you into the darkness. The ground drifts by hundreds of feet below you. Droplets of your blood fall away from you into space. You don't feel any pain, only a numbing cold. Your senses are fading. All you can hear is the beating of the Voidwoken's wings and the beating of your own heart, only your heart is slowing. The Voidwoken seems to sense that you won't make it. It unleashes an outraged screech, then releases you from its grasp. The ground rushes up to meet you. You close your eyes.
Think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
You claw desperately at the cave wall, trying to get enough purchase to crawl away. But they're slick with water and something else. You fall back into an unknown horror's embrace. Huge fangs caress your neck. You shut your eyes with a whimper. The carved figure is a resplendent. Your touch.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right.
Do you have it? Do you have the book I seek? Found the little corpse-related book I seek yet? Have a look. Mind you don't tear any pages now. You know what I'm looking for. Come back to me if you find it. Found the little corpse-related book I seek yet? corpse-related book I seek yet? Not long to go now, I'm sure of it. Found the little corpse-related book I seek yet? Money. Plenty of it. That's what the living care about, yes? Not like it's some common parlour table book. I'm looking for something more particular. A tome to teach me how to make corpses explode. Have a look. Mind you don't tear any pages now. You know what I'm looking for. Come back to me if you find it. Found the little corpse-related book I seek yet?
Spirit peers up at you intently, an obsessive focus clear in her manic eyes.
Trolls. Do you know a fascinating thing about trolls? I know all of them. I can tell you anything you need to know about trolls. My life's work has been documenting them. My life's work! Almost every single troll I encountered in my life has one elemental weakness that puts a halt to their uncanny regenerative abilities. Imagine! Oh, fascinating, isn't it? But of course, every specimen has their own quirks, their own petty foibles. And I pushed my curiosity too far with one particularly huge and crimson troll. But it's perfect. Now I can observe him in total safety.
Back off, pigeon! This is my bridge, and I don't suffer fools on it.
The enormous, unusually red troll looms over you with his fists clenched threateningly. His expression is stern, yet you can see the tiniest twinkle in his intelligent eyes.
Didn't hear me the first time, parrot?
He smiles a jagged and magnanimous grin. Each pitchfork-pointed tooth seems to threaten you individually.
We'll see. You want to cross my bridge? Look at this wreck. No taxpayer coin has touched it in a hot century.
He kicks the edge of the bridge, sending a sizable chunk of rock flying perilously close to your eye.
I'm the only thing standing between this bridge and the void. These days, everything is in decline. Well, I killed them. Nobody crosses my bridge for free, and they didn't pay the toll. Mind you, they hadn't tongues to bargain with, nor pockets for coin. But still, a troll must stand by his principles.
He rubs his leathery hands together with glee.
Sure. One regular priced bridge crossing coming right up. And I don't want to hear any whiny little baby noises about it either. I think not. Pay up, cuckoo!
His eyes narrow to glinting slits, and a deep laugh shakes his whole frame.
There is one thing. The competition. Take out my competition, and I could waive the usual fee. A little magpie feather named Mog. He's not fit to be a bridge keeper. He took over the other bridge across, and he's too cheap. I can't compete with his ridiculous prices. That's a little non-committal, but I'll take what I can get around here.
Grog drags a rough map in the dust of the bridge with one claw. He then spends an inordinate amount of time sketching a highly vulgar doodle of this Marge he wants you to take care of.
There. Now, for the moment, you'll need to back off. No pay, no stay.
Do you have it? Do you have the book I seek?